So, warning about the ticks. And watch out, because they might get your crotch area.
9 countries, wow. Lucky you got a passport.
I've just tried to fly the drone, but the drone won't let me take off because the batteries are too cold, so I'm going to run back to the van, get another one, chuck it in my pocket.
Hi everyone, and welcome to our channel. We are Hannah and Jonny, also known as Finding Our Adventure. In 2020 we converted our Ford Transit to live in full time. Since then, we've been on an endless adventure with our 2 cats, Tia and Skye, exploring, living and working in our tiny home. Join us each week for a new episode of Finding Our Adventure.
Good morning everybody, and welcome to another episode of Finding Our Adventure. We loved our summer European road trip so much that we were desperate to get back to Europe, and as soon as our time reset on our Schengen visa, we headed straight back on the ferry, which you'd have seen earlier in this video, and we are actually in Belgium right now, and we're really excited to get exploring.
Yep, the sun's out and we've made it to a town called Dinant, and we are going to explore. It looks really cool, so we're going to show you around.
Okay, so we have about 3 months to spend in Europe, and that's because we've got to head back for Camp Quirky at the end of April. So the plan is we're going to spend the next few weeks heading through Belgium down to the French Alps, and then once the school French holidays have ended at the end of February, we're going to spend a few weeks in the French Alps snowboarding, and then after that we're planning to head down to Italy if everything goes according to plan. Mm-hmm. So we're really excited to explore some new countries.
Yeah, this is your first time?
First time in Belgium, which is really exciting. And then yeah, we've got a few more countries on the list, and we can't wait to get snowboarding. I'm so excited for that, to get to the mountains and just enjoy it. And then by the time we come to the end of this trip, it's going to be spring, and then we'll be heading into summer, which is going to be really nice.
Yeah, can't wait for it to warm up. We are absolutely freezing right now. Even though the sun is out, we're just kind of
don't be fooled by the sun, it's still cold.
Gloves, hats, coats, everything. So the reason this place is actually quite famous is because the guy who invented the saxophone, I'm not sure what his name is, I'll tell you in a minute. This is where he's from. So there's a bridge just behind us which is just completely lined with massive saxophones, which is really cool. I guess the clue's in the name, that his name was Adolf Sax, and that's how they called the saxophone after him.
So we're actually in the Ardennes region right now, and this beautiful little town is our first stop along our journey, and we're planning to get into the forest at some point as well. We've got a really nice park up actually next to a prison tonight, and we have heard that you can hear the inmates at night time, so that's going to be weird.
We've really been enjoying this walk along the river. So this river runs all the way through the Ardennes, which is the area that we're going to be exploring over the next couple of days. And we are now just going to be heading back to the van, I think grabbing some lunch as we've worked up an appetite, and we're going to go check on the cats.
Good morning everybody. We kind of lost you there yesterday. We just went and took some photos in the town, and then we kind of just chilled before it got dark, and we actually moved the van because we decided not to stay next to the prison last night because you know, for obvious reasons, just in case.
I wanted to find a quieter spot.
Yeah, so we drove a little bit further out of town and we parked just down the road from a castle, and that's where we're heading now. And the sun is out this morning, it's beautiful. It was very cold last night, but it's really nice in the sun this morning. So we're going to go find this castle and check it out. I've just tried to fly the drone, but the drone won't let me take off because the batteries are too cold, so I'm going to run back to the van, get another one, chuck it in my pocket and put the others on charge to see if they can warm up a bit so we can fly around the castle.
It's so peaceful here. You can just hear the sound of the river and the geese as well. There's quite a lot of geese just making loads of noise in this valley, and on one side it's just completely frosty just behind me on this side, and then on this side it's all completely defrosted because of the sun, so everything looks really green, which is such a contrast, but it's so beautiful here. The castle is just sitting on this massive rock. What a place for a castle.
I've just run back to the van to put the drone batteries on charge to warm them up hopefully, so I'm going to give it about 10-20 minutes, but the sun is now coming over the hill a bit, so we might have missed the best light for the drone, but we'll give it a go anyway hopefully. So if you see some nice drone footage, that's because it worked. And it's actually 11 o'clock, so I don't think the sun's going to get that much higher in the next hour or so, but yeah, it's really pretty here. The castle is just behind us there. Got a beautiful river here, and there's actually some guys getting some mountain bikes over there, so there's probably some really good trails around here as well.
The sun's just peeked over the hill now, and Jonny is going to tilt the solar panels because our batteries are getting not too low, but they are starting to go down a bit, so we are going to do that now.
The walk we're going on now is about 30 minutes or so, so we decided to tilt one of the solar panels. We didn't do both, well, we've got 3 solar panels but only 2 tilts, so we just decided to do one because obviously taking them up and down is a bit annoying and we're going to drive somewhere after this, but the difference it makes just tilting them. So we've tilted the one and it's gone up from about 2 amps that we're bringing in before to about 7 amps now, so yeah, it's really cool having them tilting, and it just brings so much more power. We managed to get the drone up and get some video, so hopefully it looks good. The castle is so beautiful, all lit up by the sun now, and we're just going to carry on this walk to a viewpoint that apparently gives us spectacular views of the castle as well, and then we'll be heading back to the van, put the solar panels down, maybe have some breakfast, and then head to a new spot.
Yeah, let's see if I can get us there. So, I've made us climb this hill. Hopefully it's going to be worth it. It's so peaceful here. We can only just hear the sounds of the river and the birds.
We heard a woodpecker this morning.
Oh yeah, we did hear a woodpecker knocking on the trees, so that was really cool. There's supposed to be boar as well in these woods, aren't there?
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't come across some of them. But yes, absolutely beautiful day for a walk out in nature. The viewpoint was absolutely spectacular. It was all very, it was basically like a big river that does a big meander, big loop around like a few houses. It was very pretty, and very pretty because the sun's out as well, and it's all very green. So we just stopped for a few minutes there, and now we're heading back because we're quite hungry actually. We've only had a banana today and it's already lunchtime. So we were just saying it would be so nice to be sat up there with a baguette and some nice cheese or something to go inside. So I think that's what we're craving now. So we are heading back to the van and go and fill ourselves up with some good food. Okay, so we've just put the solar panels down and we are ready to find our spot for the afternoon, well, and stay the night hopefully. And I think I found a good one, but the Google Maps is trying to take us up a private road, so I'm just figuring out how to get there, and I think I figured it out, so might get lost, but it's been an absolutely incredible day, and the cats have just been snoozing the whole time, and I've just had to move Tia, so she's not very happy about that. So yeah, just going straight. So yeah, here's Skye.
We have just driven about 10 minutes down the road from where we were parked by the other castle. We've actually come to another castle because we can park outside this one for the night, which is really cool. It's beautiful, the sun's setting now, the castle looks really cool. Unfortunately, I think it is closed at the moment, so we can't go in at this time of year. And the one thing that's really surprised me so far about Belgium is the road quality. It's actually really bad. There's so many potholes, even on the motorway. There's loads of potholes everywhere. So what we're going to do is we're going to avoid driving at night time because it's just not worth the risk, especially driving on the motorways at speed. If we hit a pothole, it can be pretty bad. So yeah, if you come into Belgium, just be aware of that. But other than that, we're having a great time so far.
We've had a lovely day exploring the Ardennes and it's been full of lots of lovely castles, and now I am going to make some dinner, which I think is just going to be pasta. Hello!
Good morning everybody. We have driven about 50 minutes further south from where we stayed at the castle last night, and it's another beautiful sunny day, and we've driven into the forest this morning. And we don't really know much about this area because we've got no internet, so we're just going for a bit of a walk and to find out what's going on around here. We've parked the van in an air, which is really convenient, and we've also tilted the solar panels again this morning because of the sunlight to make the most of the sun. And yeah, we're just going to go have a bit of a wander, and then I think there's also a viewing platform back up on them out of the forest a little bit that we might go explore later. We've just seen a sign that has said that there's bears and wolves in the woods around here. So yeah, I mean, the chances of us finding or seeing any is going to be near zero, but it's good to know that they're around here just in case.
This is where we need the cats to help us.
They'll just run. They'll be gone.
They'll be for themselves, yeah, that's true.
Hannah just saw another sign that says this forest also has pixies, elves and trolls in it. So I'm now really doubting the sign that said it had bears and wolves in it because, well, I know the last three don't really exist, so maybe it doesn't even have bears and wolves here.
You haven't seen them yet, so you don't know unless you see them, right?
Where we've just been walking is a big 40-hectare like farm museum. So I think it's still like a living farm, working farm, and they've opened it up as a massive museum to show what life on a farm was like before the wars. It's really interesting. It's closed at this time of year, so I think it opens again in spring and summertime. But it's been really nice just to walk around all the old buildings and see all the signs saying what used to happen here. And I think now the plan is we're going to head back to the van and drive a little bit further along to get to the viewing platform where we might even be able to park it for the night.
Just come back to the van and the girls are having the best time sunbathing on the front seats. Absolutely out of it. The sun now is just beaming through these windows here. They don't want to be disturbed.
Okay, so we've actually decided to drive to the town that was just about 5 minutes from where we were parked near the farm. Because they've got an air here, so we're parked up there, and also because we're not in the forest at the moment, we've got more sunlight, so we put the solar panels back up to get another couple of hours of light for the day and just charge the batteries up a little bit more, which is working really well. And we also need to go get some supplies, so there's a Lidl I think in this town as well, so we're going to walk to there, get some supplies, and then tomorrow we're going to go to the viewing point. Good morning everybody. It's a very misty morning this morning, totally different from the last few days where we've had beautiful sunshine. I'm about to head up onto the roof of the van, put the solar panels down, and then I think we're going to head to that viewpoint. So just in case you're curious, our solar panel brackets are held up by these struts, so I just have to undo these two screws and then it can lie completely flat down. And they have been so good so far. I've been getting so much charge, like a summer sun almost, and with these facing like this, so it makes a massive difference in winter. And that's what the solar panels look like, completely flat again, although the roof is really muddy from climbing up on the roof with muddy boots over the last few days putting the panels up, so need to give that a clean at some point. We've just arrived back in the forest from the town we were staying in, and the sun looks like it's just trying to break out up above us there, which is really nice because it has been really misty driving down. But the trees here are beautiful. I just closed the van door and you could hear it echo all around, so it's absolutely dead quiet here, which is really nice. And the viewing platform, there's supposed to be lots of deer that you can see from there apparently as well, so hopefully the mist blows off a little bit more and we're able to see those. But yeah, it's just really nice here. There's a big sign over there saying about ticks, so I don't think we're going to be getting Tia and Skye out for a walk because we don't want to get any ticks on them, and we've run out of tick stuff, so we need to go find some more of that as well. So yeah, we're excited to go explore. So, warning about the ticks, and watch out because they might get your crotch area. Luckily for us, we do have a tick removal tool in the van, So if we did get any ticks in our crotch, we'd be able to figure it out. So Hannah's decided to come in full camouflage today.
Yep, I am officially a pine tree.
I think you actually stand out more though.
Maybe. It's pretty green. Not that side, that way it is.
So we've heard that if you stay in the forest here overnight, you're going to get a €300 fine, which is quite a lot, so we're not going to do that. But luckily, like in most places in Europe, there are airs everywhere in every town, which is amazing. The facilities are so good. It's free to stay in an air. Usually the air has paid services, so if you want to fill it with water, it's like €1 for 100 litres the other day that we filled up. And it's just so convenient, so easy. I really wish the UK would catch up and have airs in towns. That'd make it so much easier to travel around in the van. So before World War II, I think it was in the 1930s, the French built the Maginot line, which was a series of bunkers, tunnels, gun emplacements, machine gun pillboxes, and all sort of stuff along the French-German border to protect themselves. And it's incredible. If you look at the diagrams online, if you Google it, how deep the tunnels go, trains and everything to move troops around. It's just crazy. And then with the Ardennes, they had the forests protecting the other side, so they thought that the Ardennes would really protect them against the Germans. But in the end, the German war machine just ended up going through Belgium and around the forest and around the Maginot line, and ended up invading France that way. So it didn't really work, but there is a lot of thought that it served its purpose in slowing the Germans down a little bit instead of them just being able to march straight over the border. So this forest here, we think, links France, Belgium and Germany all together. Okay, so Hannah's just googled it, and the forest, especially the town where we stayed last night, you can literally walk from France to Germany through Belgium, staying in this forest, which is insane. It shows how big it is, and you can just imagine the French before World War II. They probably just thought with, I imagine the forest was a lot more dense back then as well, so they probably thought with tanks and machinery and stuff, there's no way the Germans would be able to walk through here, and used it as part of their defence strategy. So it's really cool to come here and see it, and yeah, see how wild it is still. We've been walking for about 15 minutes now, and the forest is starting to get so dense just behind us here. Really thick, really beautiful. Lots of evergreens, lots of pine trees, and I think, was it birch as well? Yeah. Lots of birch trees as well. So yeah, we're just heading towards the viewpoint now, and we're going to go try to find some wildlife. So this is really weird, this ice here, because there's not really that much water underneath, but it formed this really thick layer of ice above this ditch. But if you bash through it, there's no water underneath it really.
Unless it's drained down.
Yeah. So it must have frozen last night, and then all the water just ran underneath it.
Well, it's just drained into the soil.
Yeah, really weird. We've just made it to the viewing tower, and we're just heading up the stairs now to the top of the tower. Looks like there's no one else here, so we've got it all to ourselves, and hopefully when we get to the top we can look out over the field and maybe there'll be some deer there. We're not sure yet, but fingers crossed we see some wildlife. Okay, so we haven't spotted any wildlife, but the sign here says that you can get boar, deer, and also forest cats as well, so wild cats here, which is really cool. I can imagine coming either really early morning or during sunset and into dusk, that you probably have a much better chance of seeing anything, and wouldn't it be so cool to see a forest cat here?
What have you found?
So there's a book of observations in the box, so when you see something you can write it in here, and somebody saw some deer.
That's so cool.
We didn't see anything, we didn't see any wildlife, but the view was amazing. Beautiful to look out over the forest, and it was just really peaceful up here. As I said before, there's no one else here, so we had it all to ourselves, really nice and relaxing. And I can imagine on a, like I said, on an early morning or a sunset, you probably see quite a lot of wildlife.
You hear lots of birds.
Yeah.
But nothing to the eye. I mean, maybe if we had binoculars, we'd be able to see something, but...
But now we're going to head back to the van and go grab some lunch, I think.
So how many countries is that for you, Tia?
France, Wales, Scotland, England, Ireland, France, Spain, Portugal, Belgium, Luxembourg. At least 9 countries you've been to.
9 countries! Wow. Lucky you got a passport. So I'm not sure if we've actually showed you the tricks that the girls can do now. So they're going to give you a little demonstration of some of the tricks that they've learned. So we'll start up with Tia. Okay, so Tia, come here. Come here. Tia, come here. What's this? So sit. Good girl. Let's see if I can get her to do one more. Tia, down, 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 Tia, down, down, Tia, down, down. Good girl. Good job. Right, now it's your turn. You're already doing it. Okay, Skye, sit pretty, sit pretty, sit pretty. Good girl. You kind of did it. Right, Skye, see if you can do it again. Sit pretty, sit pretty. Don't. No, sit pretty. Good girl. This evening we've gone for one of our staple meals, which is fajitas. It smells really good, and I haven't even added the spices yet. And then the next station along, Jonny is making some guacamole.
Okay, so dinner is almost ready. We have had such an amazing time exploring the forest and the Ardennes region. We are absolutely starving now. We can't wait to tuck in, and we're gonna have a movie night. We think there's a new series of You out, which we're quite excited to watch. We quite like that series. And that is the end of this week's episode. Thank you so much for joining us for this Belgian video. And I think next week, for next week's episode, we are heading to Luxembourg, and we're excited to see what Luxembourg has to offer.
Yep, first new country for you, huh?
Another new country, yeah. So don't forget to tune in next week. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe, and we'll see you then.